We have forgiveness all wrong. Forgiveness doesn't bring healing, guys. And I want to share something that I've heard so many people talk about. And unfortunately, so many have it all wrong, all figured out incorrectly. And as I always say, I make bold statements, but I'm going to back them up. So, hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind Engineer. Here, Tommy Walker, sharing insight and tools to help you become free in your mind inside out. A lot of people are looking for freedom on the outside, going to live into another country, trying to make X amount of money because now they feel that if they have that, they're going to feel free. And there's so many misunderstandings on how the mind works and how to start making changes. So today I want to talk about a very controversial topic that is forgiveness. Most people think that forgiveness brings healing, but unfortunately it's the other way around. And I'm going to prove to you this why. This comes out in most people that I work with. They're telling me that they have or forgiven somebody or they want to try to forgive somebody, right? So when we start going deeper into why they want to forgive, most of them start telling me that they need to forgive because to be spiritual, to feel free, to feel good about themselves, they need to forgive. So if you listen to that, that is coming from ego, because I need to forgive to be able to accomplish, to feel, to get something out of it. So there is a hidden agenda behind that. It's not I just want to forgive because I want to forgive because if not, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. That is normally controlled. That is controlled by ego. And you have no idea how many people I work with that tell me, oh, Tommy, I have forgiven my mom. And although they struggle today and they're stuck in their life in different aspects, when we talk about forgiveness, they tell me that they have forgiven their mom, their dad, their brother, their sister, whoever did something wrong to them, that they have already forgiven them. And when we start doing some exercises, in most cases, they end up realizing that they haven't forgiven. What they have done is that they have told themselves that they needed to forgive. So they were denying the part of them that didn't want to forgive. There was still a part of them inside that didn't want to forgive, but they were telling themselves that they had to forgive. Hence, they were pushing away the part of them that was having a hard time forgiving. So most people tend to try to forgive from ego. It's something I need to do. It's something that is good for me. It's going to help me advance in my life. It's going to be able to let me to let go, blah. But the truth is they're not truly forgiving. They're forcing themselves to forgive at a cognitive intellect level, but emotionally they are not, because most of them are still carrying the luggage, the negative emotions from different moments in their life that they're supposedly forgiving. So that said, I want to start talking about how we truly forgive. So if forgiveness doesn't bring healing, why is Tommy saying that? Why am I saying that? Because the truth, when you force yourself to forgive, you're not actually healing. If you're forcing yourself to forgive, you're not healing. You're just denying the parts of you that are still hurting. And that is very different to healing. Healing is actually, imagine that Richard said something that I felt disrespected with. Okay? So what I do is, how did I feel? Disrespected, anger, sadness, I don't know, whatever other, shame maybe, there you go. Why did I feel these different emotions? Why did I feel angry? Oh, I felt angry because I thought Richard was my friend. I felt shame because, he made me feel bad about myself when he said that. Okay, so I go through the different emotions. Third, how did it make me feel about myself? It made me feel a bad person. It made me feel inadequate. It made me feel not good enough. It made me feel that there's something wrong with me. So when I start tapping into how did it make me feel about myself, I start realizing that that's actually what I already have unresolved inside of me. So it's not that Richard made me feel, what he did, he said, made me tell myself that I'm not good enough, that I'm inadequate, that there's something wrong with me, or whatever it is, the narrative you're telling yourself. So listen to this, guys. Who's disrespecting you if you're telling yourself you're not good enough? Who's disrespecting you if you're telling yourself you're not good enough, you're a failure, you're inadequate, there's something wrong with you? Who's disrespecting you? You, and only you. So if I supposedly forgive Richard, I'm not really realizing that I'm hurting myself and that I need to tell myself I'm sorry for treating myself like that, for thinking like that about myself. So you see that there's much more to just forgiving somebody else. Because I tell this to people, and a lot of people are not going to like this, but I'm going to tell you what I truly believe in, and I hope that helps you. Want to throw it away? You want to go see somebody else? That's fine with me. But I'm going to tell you the truth, and the truth sometimes hurts because it is bringing to your attention something that has to do with you and only you and nobody else. But if we keep thinking that Richard hurt me, I'm going to give my power away. I'm going to be a victim of Richard. I'm disempowered. I'm not owning my life. It's like somebody else is running my life. And this is what most people out there are doing. They're giving away their power to somebody else. Whether it is Trump, whether it is the president of your country, whether it is your neighbor, whether it is your partner, whether it is your kids, whether it is somebody else, you're giving the power away. So I want to start teaching you how to regain your own power. So again, maybe Richard said, Tommy, you're stupid. It's what I tell myself that disrespects me. Because look, if Richard says, Tommy, you're stupid, and I say, oh, poor Richard, he's not getting me. Oh, poor Richard, that is his unresolved issues, and he's trying to blame me, or he's trying to project on me what he thinks about himself. Boom, there's no disrespect. But if I tell myself, oh, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Oh, I'm not good enough, or whatever, I'm disrespecting myself. Now I can take control of my life and start making changes. So do I truly, really need to forgive Richard? No, because he said a sentence. He said a combination of words. It's the meaning I put to those words that affected me. So I need to go within and work on myself. Not on Richard, not on trying to get Richard to say he was sorry, not to forgive Richard for something he did or said or did not do or did not say. Now I start becoming my own creator in my life, and my life doesn't depend on others. Because how many times have we fallen in giving our power away to the people around us? Whether it's a family, whether it's our friends, whether it's our boss, whether it's a partner, we keep giving our power away. And that is disempowering. And disempowering, you're going to live the life that is from a person that is disempowered. But when you become empowered, you truly understand that you can create your own reality to a certain extent. Don't get me wrong. I cannot just start imagining that I'm going to be a millionaire and manifest that out of the blue, because that's BS. Although some people teach that, that is totally BS. And it goes against most of the rules of the universe. Although they speak about the law of abundance, that's totally crap. Not the law of abundance, but that you can just say, I want to become a millionaire. I just want to find love out there and love is going to, come your way. No, because if you have limiting, negative and false beliefs around money, around relationships, around love, around deserving, around your self-image, doesn't matter what you project out into the world consciously, what's going to run the show is what's happening subconsciously. So I'm not saying the law of attraction doesn't exist. I'm saying it is, but it doesn't work the way most people portray it, because they want to make you feel that it's easy to manifest, that it's easy to get whatever you want, because you're going to pay them good money to teach you that easy way to make good money, to find love, to find whatever you're struggling with. But the truth is, it doesn't work like that. Because I'm a dad, and although I want the best for my kids, I wouldn't give them everything they ask for because I know that is not good for them. So if I'm a dad, I'm still in human form and I want the best for my kids, but I understand what's good and what's not good for them. If my kid says, "Oh, dad, I want to be a billionaire, millionaire," oh, here, boom, here you have, become a millionaire out of the blue. No, because I know that's not going to really help him become his true version of who he is meant to be. Why? Because as when we go through struggles, when we don't get what we want, that we have the opportunity to see what are the different pains that are coming up of our limiting negative and false beliefs, our negative self-image, our negative identity that needs to be dealt with. Because when things are flowing, when things are good, it's more difficult to identify the different limiting negative and false beliefs of the negative self-image you have about yourself. It is possible, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not, but people find it very hard to go within and do the work when things are going well. They tend to do the work when things get challenging. So it's important to understand the things on a bigger view of the universe, on how is everything working. So we want to talk about the universe, about God if you want. What happens is, imagine that somebody comes and brings me something that I truly need. Maybe I'm trying to fix my house and I need a specific tool, and this person, my neighbor, comes over and brings me the exact tool that I need. Would I need to forgive my neighbor for bringing exactly what I needed to help me fix whatever I needed to fix? I know the answer, and it's no. I don't need to forgive my neighbor for bringing me something that I needed. And what if somebody scammed you? What if somebody disrespected you to help you see something that you were not being able to see while everything was going great? So now why should you forgive them if they just brought to the surface something that you were not seeing? Why would you not need to forgive your neighbor that brought you something that you needed? But why would you need to forgive somebody that brought something that supposedly brought pain? What if it just revealed the pain that was inside of you? Do we need to go around forgiving people that are helping us reveal the pain that there is there, to help us become a greater version of ourselves, to practice unconditional love? I have a lawsuit going on, and I don't know how much I'm going to have to pay. It could be between $2,000 up to $20,000 for an ex-person, an ex-employee that was working with me, and he lied about how much he worked with me and how he's asking for 10 times more than what he deserves. And he brought witnesses to build a case, and all his witnesses proved that he worked a tenth of what he says he worked. But unfortunately, the legal system here in our country protects the employee and not the employer. So I have no idea what's going to happen. Seriously, I have no idea what's going to happen. But you know what? This is bringing pain? Yeah. Is the guy causing pain? No. This is just revealing what I need to work on to be able to practice more unconditional love towards myself for letting this happen, quote unquote, and for him for doing what he's doing, because I understand that he's in a lot of pain, emotionally and mentally. That's why he's so, his mind is so fogged to think that he deserves to be paid 10 times more than he should. But that's what he thinks. Is that right? No, it's not. I don't know what the law is going to do in this case. I can only practice unconditional love to myself because I did the best I could as he was an employee with me. I did the best I could, even when he started, getting into fights verbally and emotionally with other instructors and, causing different problems in the organization, loving and accepting. Why didn't I kick him out earlier? All of that, the what ifs, loving and accepting every part of me. And then loving and accepting him because he's doing the best he can. Is it okay what he's doing? No. Do I need to forgive him? No, because he's helping me practice and anchor more unconditional love. No matter what happens, I'm practicing unconditional love. Am I there 100%? No, I'm still learning, I'm still practicing. But people and circumstances are going to happen in my life so that I can keep practicing that unconditional love. So again, do I need to forgive that person? No, there's no forgiveness. Not because I don't forgive him, because he's just revealing something that I need to work on. And if we talk about spirituality, if you want to talk about spirituality, we can talk also about maybe reincarnation. If you believe in spirituality, Buddhism, Hinduism, and many other religions believe about reincarnation. What if I, in another life, did something wrong to him, and now I'm setting the balance in the universe? That could be possible. I have no idea. So again, unconditional love for myself. If I did something wrong in a past life, forgiving myself, loving and accepting myself, and also loving and accepting him through what he's going in this life through. When we're able to stand there, we start realizing that forgiveness, how it is being managed, it is managed 100% through ego. Ego creates this duality that I need to forgive somebody else for whatever they're doing to me. But what if they're doing me a favor? What if I'm creating this situation with this lawsuit too? I'm in control, I'm in power too of my life. I'm a co-creator here in my life. So I somehow created this situation. I accepted it from my soul. I have a soul contract with this person, and that's why this is happening. So now suddenly there's no forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't exist in that plane, in that consciousness. I don't need to forgive him. I don't need to forgive myself. It's just love and accept what is. So we got to be very, very careful with forgiveness, because most of the time forgiveness is controlled by ego. Ego, human side, has been hurt, quote unquote, and wants somebody else to say that they're sorry, or they want to try to forgive somebody else to let go, to stop the pain. But that is still control. From spirit, there's no forgiveness, because if you look at the bigger picture, whatever is happening to you is a blessing in disguise. I'm not saying it's easy to accept. Don't get me wrong. I'm sending love to the people that are going through difficult moments. Don't get me wrong. Like in Venezuela, with the earthquake and how people dying there, it might be difficult. But is being able to anchor more unconditional love in our life for us and for others. And from that unconditional love, there's no room for forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't exist. Forgiveness is a creation from ego. You need to be forgiven by God. God has to forgive you. You got to do something to be forgiven by God. Bullshit. Because I'm a dad, and my kids don't need anything for me to forgive them. Whoever is a parent out there, do you really need something from your kids to forgive them? If I'm able to tap into that every now and then, more or less often, how am I going to think that God, universe, needs to forgive me? That is ego again once more, guys. It's the BS we have been sold to buy into this crap of manipulation. There is no forgiveness. Forgiveness shouldn't exist, because it doesn't in the spirit world. I'm not saying I have everything figured out. Sometimes, now that we are in the last terms of the lawsuit, imagine that a lawsuit of $20,000 come out, I might feel angry. I might feel, despised towards this guy, whatever. It's okay. I'm going to love and accept those parts of me that feel these negative emotions to this person, because I'm still here in this human form. And it's okay to feel anger, to feel despised, to feel anything towards this person. That doesn't mean that I'm going to go beat him up. That doesn't mean I'm going to go do something bad towards him. But to feel negative emotion, it's okay. So forcing yourself to forgive somebody else is going to only create more pain more separation from God, from source. Because from spirit, it doesn't exist. It's just practicing love and acceptance that is going to bring that peace of mind and is going to regain your power in this life. Again, I'm not saying it's easy. Please, guys, don't think that I'm saying it's easy. I'm still figuring it out, but I'm in a very different place that I have been in many years in the past. Many years ago, I would be going down a really dark hole, thinking I'm the victim, that this guy is trying to take everything away from me, how I'm going to make it if the government tells me that I need to, the Justice Department tells me that I have to pay $20,000, how am I going to make it through, what I'm going to do, blah, 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 whatever. I would be in a very dark place if I didn't have these tools. And like it happened to me 7, 8 years ago when I was scammed $10,000. I was in a bad spot for a little while, and as I started applying these tools, it helped me realize that I didn't need to forgive the guys that scammed me $10,000. Now I can look back, guys, and I can thank them for what they did, because it really helped me anchor more unconditional love and identify limiting negative and false beliefs that I didn't realize I had. So $10,000 were paid to be able to help me increase in consciousness, love more, grow, and become more who are meant to be. If you knew that you could pay $10,000 and that's going to take you to another consciousness level, to more loving, more forgiveness, that doesn't exist, but in a way, practicing that, more unconditional love, be able to become a greater version of you, to feel more peace of mind no matter what the universe throws at you, wouldn't you pay $10,000? I would pay them again. But of course, at that moment, I didn't know the benefits I was going to get from that experience. So it was difficult at the beginning. But as I started working with these tools, I was able to overcome that and be in a different place that when I was back then. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoy this. Let me know what you think about the forgiveness that I just mentioned. If you don't agree at all, let me know. Tell me why. Let's have a debate. I love having debate. I tend to say things that are very controversial, but I try to explain why I'm saying what I'm saying. I try to prove my point. That doesn't mean that I'm 100% right. I could be wrong. And it's fine if I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong. But I like challenging the status quo, because most of us, we have been brainwashed to just follow the pack. And I'm trying to learn how to remove the blinds and help you remove your blinds and start challenging everything you have been taught. Yes, challenge everything you have been taught to be able to become the person that you're meant to be. As it says in the Bible, John 14:12, you're meant to do what Jesus did and much more. Buddha, you're meant to do what Buddha did and much more. You're meant to become the Buddha, the next Christ. In Hinduism, the same. And there's so many spiritual groups and religions that teach the same thing. We are sons and daughters of God here on earth. Although Christians say that Jesus was the only son of God here on earth, that's BS. We're all sons and daughters. We all have the Christ potential within us. It is in their own Bible. The same thing they deny, it's in their own Bible. That's so hilarious that they say that Jesus is the only son of God, but then who are we? Are we, orphans? Who are we? We are as Christ here on earth. It's just sleeping inside of us and needs to be discovered. But how do we do that? Tapping into unconditional love, guys. So again, thank you very much. If you stayed up to here, if you want to write #live if you're watching live, #replay if you're watching replay, let me know in the comments what you think about this, about forgiving. And if you're having troubles forgiving somebody, let me know. I'll share some insights, some tools that can help you start working towards being able to truly heal. And then the forgiveness is going to happen. Heal and forgiveness happens. Don't try to forgive to heal, because that is control. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much, everyone. Sending love to all of you.